Dig deep inside yourself and realize what you want to achieve throughout your lifetime and where do you see yourself being at the end of it all. Welcome to the Life Goals Club. I am your host, Summer Woods. We are produced by Evolversi, live events, concerts, and tours. Life Goals Club is a community of individuals dedicated to their personal improvement and the empowerment of others. Life Goals Club was created to positively impact the emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual aspect of every individual's life. It began solely as a run club, grew into a fitness class, then a meditation class. We even held millennial boss workshops and industry panels. And now we have grown into this platform, our podcast. I am a recent graduate of Texas Southern University in Houston, Texas. I am the founder of Life Goals Club and the founding partner of Evolversi live events, concerts, and tours. I also do my own set of entrepreneurship workshops, so I've studied hundreds of hours of documentaries, interviews, videos, read countless books, and taught in multi-generational settings. So I have the experience and knowledge to speak on the subject of entrepreneurship, and I also understand that I will always be a student to my craft. Today we are going to touch on the subject of the negative effects of a mediocre mindset and how to build a millionaire mindset. Today I am sitting here with my brother in a multitude of aspects, Ankh Heru, founder of PALM, Pan-African Liberation Movement, and the host of the PALMCast, which you can find on YouTube, SoundCloud, and evolversiglobal.com. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Ankh Heru.
I am Ankh Heru, champion of the people and liberator of black minds. In the words of my ancestors, Hotep family.
It's crazy, that we're here now. Like, we both got our own podcast. We're both working with and for Evolversi and trying to build our community and build the people around us. And I think, like you said, this is a platform. This is definitely a platform. What you're doing is a platform, So what you're doing is information, and information is power. Knowledge is power. And when we get our knowledge, like you say, black knowledge is power. So once we continuously build our knowledge, we'll grow as a people, we'll grow collectively, and our sky is not limited. So we're going to get right into the negative effects of a mediocre mindset and then how to build a millionaire mindset. Because that's why I got you here. Everything that you do is trying to build something, trying to build community, trying to build self-sufficiency,
right.
So it's all about kingdom building.
Right.
What do you think a mediocre mindset is?
When I think about mediocre mindset, someone who thinks on a small level, or you're putting a cap on what you can be and what your mind can elevate to. Me, I was one of those mediocre mindsets, and it was hard, trying to elevate my mind and really thinking that I can do more than what I am doing now.
Yeah.
So it's like taking off the ceiling. So once you take off that ceiling, the sky's the limit. Like how you said, the $1 million mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah, like once you take that cap off, you can reach millions.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people today, they have salaries, and the salary is a cap over there. And it's you can't reach nothing above that.
Mm-hmm.
So once you elevate your mind, you can do anything.
Yeah, the mind is really a terrible thing to waste.
Oh yeah.
I never really just understood. I knew it was like a little slogan they used to use in school, like the mind is a terrible thing to waste. But now I really understand it because I had a workshop, the first one I ever did, and I was nervous. Mm-hmm. But we were speaking on self-awareness and what your goals are, what's stopping you, and then what you need. I realized that if you're not self-aware, you're losing your mind and you're working on autopilot. Like you said, you're putting a cap on your goals. You're putting a cap on what you can achieve if you're limiting yourself, if you're putting yourself in a box, if you're allowing descriptions of how you should be to put a cap or put a box around what you could be. It's limiting. So it's like the mind is really a terrible thing to waste. Like it's really, really a terrible thing to waste.
Oh, yeah. That's your money maker, too.
Yeah.
That's how you make that $1 million, And whatever a man thinketh, so shall it be.
Yeah, in the workshop I'm working on now, it speaks on everything is created twice, once in the mind and then once in the physical realm. Everything is once created in the mind. Right. So you have to be self-aware. You have to really cater to yourself and cater to your mind and build it and keep learning. You have to keep learning. Like I said at the beginning, I'm a student of my craft. Reason being because I don't believe that I know everything. That's a broke man's mindset. And when I mean wealth or when I mean $1 million mindset, I don't mean just money. $1 million, yeah, it's attractive because it makes you think of money. But I'm thinking wealth. And wealth is not just money. You know, it's the people around you. It's your happiness, your wealth and knowledge. Are you diverse? Are you well traveled? Do you know different languages? Do you know how different people think? Do you know how different people feel from a perspective of a man or a woman, from the perspective of a gay or a lesbian, from the perspective of a child? Can you open yourself up to understand that? And that's what real wealth is. And that's what $1 million mindset is. Life goals is emotional, mental, physical, spiritual. You have to touch on every aspect for your life to be truly wealthy. Right. And if you do not, you're wasting your life.
Right.
So how important is a purpose, you think?
Once you get your purpose, I think that's when you coming into knowing yourself and like what you want to do. With me, my purpose came about through Children's Defense Fund, working with kids and really like stepping back and seeing like, how can I make a difference?
Yeah.
How can I elevate myself for the betterment of my community? How can I better elevate myself for the betterment of the world and for my people? So PALM, Pan-African Liberation Movement, has really awakened a lot of things in me and really just broadened my mind to see what my purpose really is, and that's to liberate our people and bring change. And that's all we stand for. And that's our purpose, and that's what we're looking to fulfill.
Yeah. It's amazing that you found, a purpose so young, because it's hard for a lot of people to find a purpose. And when building your $1 million mindset and removing a mediocre mindset, you have to find a purpose, and you have to find value in your life and value in the time that you spend. It's an exercise that you can do to find a purpose in your life, and it'll really make you think about the future, because it's hard for us to really think about the future sometimes. Like, it's hard for us to plan for some things that are uncertain and try to just guess on how things are going to play out, or just working off of like historical fact, like just trying to say, okay, this is gonna happen because of this. Yeah. It's hard sometimes, but this is a way. And I did it this morning. I wrote it down. So I mean, if you can get a pen and pad, you can get it right now, or you can do it later. It's just a challenge. I'm challenging all of you, and this is gonna help you find your values.
Hey, I'm gonna do it myself.
It's gonna help you find your purpose. It's gonna help you find your values. It's gonna make you see what you truly want in your life. So what it is this. Close your eyes. Imagine yourself getting dressed in the mirror. You're putting on funeral attire. You feel sad. You feel like you're about to go witness something that you're dreading in a sense, but then you're still, happy that the person found closure in their life, or they're still finding closure, but you're still grieving. You're grieving, but you don't understand why you're grieving. Is it vanity because you think that you're about to go down this path, or there's a path that you're going to have to go down in the future, but at this point you just have to grieve for the person? So you get dressed, and then you take a black car to the church, and then you walk down the aisle, and you see everybody in the aisle. Everyone. You give them slight nods. You recognize some people. You wave here and there. You hug some people, and some people exchange tears and sad looks, and then you walk up to the casket, and you look down, and then you realize it's yourself. And then you realize, and you look at the obituary and see that it's 3 years away from now. So you're sitting at the funeral of yourself around all your peers, your family, your colleague. And you're looking at yourself in the casket, and on the obituary there's your photo, and it reads the time. It's 3 years from today's date. Now I want you to think of 4 people you would like to speak at your funeral. Okay, because remember, you're grieving, but you're still happy that the person found ending and closure in their life. So think about 4 people you would love to speak at your funeral. Somebody from your family, somebody from an organization you volunteer at, or a church, somebody that you work with, and then a close friend or a colleague or something like that. Mainly like a close friend, like a best friend. And what would you want those people to say about you? So think about that. What would you want those people to say about you? And I did this challenge. And I don't want to give away what I thought, because I really don't want people to take what I thought, or me to influence anybody's emotions or how they feel, but really, really dive deep into what you want other people to say about you, and how you want your life to impact others, and really what you want to accomplish before you pass on to an unknown that no one really knows, what's going to truly happen. You need to know now what that is that you want people to think of you and because that's truly your inner value. Like, that's what you truly value. So if you don't give a damn and you would rather you have a gazillion dollars and fame, and you don't care if one person show up at your funeral, and you don't care if one person speak, that's your value. That's your core value system. Like, you just don't care. Like, you're a savage. Like, that's just you. And you can realize that. And you don't have to lie. You don't have to you don't have to lie to yourself. You don't have to work towards things you don't really care about. You don't have to do certain things that waste your time. And you don't have to climb a ladder, get to the top, and then realize, like I said earlier, that it's leaning against the wrong building.
Yeah.
But if you see that your values are centered around making people happy, giving the most of yourself, giving your resources to other people, if you see that you want to be an encouragement and a light at the end of a tunnel for certain people, if you want to still have success, it's not vanity. That's just true. Like, everybody wants to be rich in a sense. Everybody wants to have fame in a sense. Everybody wants to be surrounded by people that loves them. And I mean, there may be a select few out there that have endured so much pain and trauma and separation from people that they don't want it. But at the end of the day, you have to really see what your true values are. Because when you do that, you understand what it's going to take for you to get out of that mediocre mindset. Because when you realize what your values are, you're going to get excited. You're going to see what you want. I know what I want. You know what I mean? Like you said, you know your purpose. Like, you want to go. Can you see yourself in Africa walking around, like, teaching a class? Can you see your PALMCast reaching the entire world and people messaging you? Can you see a generation of young boys and black girls, you know what I'm saying, like, following this idea that they are something more than what everybody else is telling them? If that makes you excited, then you need to know what your values are and, like, what you really want to do, and stop working towards things that don't make you happy, because it's only putting a cap on what you can accomplish, because we all put here with a destiny. Everything is made twice. If it's given to you in your mind, then it's meant for you to put into reality, into this world. And if you do not act on it, the universe will give it to somebody else who will. Now, they may not put the same spin on it as you. It may be better, it may be worse, but it's not going to be what you would have done. And it's not going to have the same impact on the world as if you would have did it.
We are all born divine beings.
Yeah.
Divine beings created from one energy. We are all created divine. And we should always see ourselves like that. That's one, I think, layer of people that people can, like, tear off when they know that I was born divine. So no mediocrity over here.
No, you can't. You gotta say fuck mediocrity.
Yes.
And I'm sorry for my language. If there's any soft people out there, if I have my mama listening, my grandma listening, she probably gonna listen. My grandpa, shout out to y'all. I love y'all. Y'all out there in Port Arthur, y'all surviving. Okay, survival of the fittest. Man, people had to be out here swimming to get bread. People died because of Hurricane Harvey. But we out here and we surviving, and we putting the message across because we know what we want to do.
Right.
There's no confusion in what we want to do. Like, building that $1 million mindset is more than making $1 million.
Right. It's what your true value. You got to make your mark.
Yeah.
You got to make a mark. That's what I was really getting from you. Like, once you find your purpose, you got to make your mark, and because everybody has their own part in all of this that's going on.
Yeah.
In today's time, I really preach with the movement that it's revolution time.
Yeah.
It's time for our people to start waking up and start waking up from those mediocre mindsets that sometimes we will say that's, we'll limit ourselves, but we'll have that slave mentality that keeps that mediocre, mindset. Yeah. That's a mediocre mindset. They dumbed us down so much that a lot of us was just born with that. Yeah. But we can break the chain through knowledge of self, really knowing your purpose, like how you were saying, so you can make your mark on this earth. Because that's what you're put here for. Yeah,
you definitely have to. Like, you definitely have to. And the reason why I'm even speaking on the subject of mediocre mindset is because I did workshops on a couple different things: power of proactivity, self-awareness. The next one is principles of personal leadership. But today I'm talking about the negative effects of a mediocre mindset. And it came from a conversation that I had with one of my friends, a close friend. And it just seems like such a mediocre just conversation. It was so limiting. Like, you cannot limit yourself. There is enough money for everybody. There is enough resources for everybody, okay? The abundance of ideas are just, you can't limit yourself. That's what really made me say, I have to do this podcast because it's somebody out there that needs to hear this. If I can tell you this one-on-one, then I need to be able to say this in a setting to where it feels like I'm talking to just you.
Right.
So I'm talking to just you. If you feel like you don't have enough money, stop it. If you feel like you don't have enough time, stop it. If you feel like you don't have enough connections, get out there and make those connections, because in a year your life could change and you really don't realize. And I'm not saying this off of no motivation, whoop-de-doo. No, you gonna do what you want to do. You know what I mean? You gonna do what you want to do. You can't control people. You can just control yourself. So I'm asking you, as a human being who mess up sometime, who's still trying to learn, who's still trying to build myself, if you could look inside yourself and then trust in yourself and believe in yourself enough to get up out of that mediocre mindset, take yourself out the slumps, and understand that if you are resourceful and you use as much energy as you use to watch all these other people make it on yourself, you'll be great.
People are going to have to get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
They got to get out their comfort zone so they can see themselves. I think a lot of us get stuck in that stage where we feel like we can't do much, and this is all we have to work with. Coming from Mississippi, if you don't get out of Mississippi once you're older, you're stuck there. Yeah. Because a lot of those people there are stuck with those mindsets of I'm never getting out. This is what I like it just like this. I'm content. But no, now you're limiting yourself. Yeah. That's what the mediocrity comes in. Mm-hmm. So what I want to ask you, why do you think people just comfortable with it?
I mean, it's not even just being comfortable. Like, yeah, you become comfortable with it, but you got to recognize what you complain about and what you brag about. So if it's something that you complain about, it's something that you need. You know what I'm saying? It's a necessity.
So like self-awareness.
Yeah, like just be aware of like what you need, and saying like what you brag about is something that you can offer to people.
Yeah.
So it's like people don't just really get comfortable, but that's just what they got to work with sometimes. Like that's just what you got to work with, and they don't even understand that it's another way out, because you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
It's like 3 stages. You don't know what you don't know. You know what you don't know. Then you learn what you don't know. And then it's like apply what you don't know or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end,
but
you
that's
know
society today, you know. I was just talking to a brother, and he was telling us, we was talking about education in the school system.
Yeah.
And they were trying to teach us education about history and stuff like that, like history, and they give us their history.
Yeah.
You know, they're not giving that means they're not giving the whole true history. Mm-hmm. If you only give us a one-sided history. So are we really learning true history?
I mean, we don't know what's really true and what's really fact unless we get out there and we look for it ourselves.
Right.
You know, and then you got to continuously build your capability and question everything, and never just work from a complete absolute. Like, you have to know yourself and what you love and what you like and what you dislike, because from that, you'll be able to make great decisions. You'll be able to see or question certain things. Like, question everything. Like, if you read a book, I want to see who wrote the book. Right. I want to see where the book came from. I want to see the references they used for this book, because I'm doing workshops and I'm using books. Right. And I'm referencing certain things so that it can pinpoint and then also enhance my ideas that I'm speaking on that day. So if that's for any book. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Any religious book as well.
Yeah, if it's something in the book that reaffirms or confirms what I'm speaking about, I'm going to cite that. Why? Because that's the information that I'm looking for. That's the information that I need. So I got to know where these other people getting their information and see like who wrote that book. And it's like a trail. It's a paper trail for everything. You know what I mean? Like, don't be so green and don't be so unaware and don't be so blind to think that everything that these people are giving to us is true. Because just like they wrote a book, I can write a book and I can say my own ideas. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, I believe I should go on and write a book. These people can say that they're this and that they're that and that they saw this and that they believe that. It's all opinion at the end of the day, and they just reference things that reaffirm or confirm what they're saying in their ideas.
Right. And then I was also talking to a brother about intellect versus education. Mm-hmm. Intellect is something that you're born with. Not intellect, I'm sorry. Intelligence versus education. Well, we're born with intelligence. Kids are born very intelligent and smart. But when you go with education, we're just talking about education, they're teaching us an education based off their views and not the world views. And I think that's that conflict with the mediocre mindset, because you're giving people watered down information that's not helping them better themselves as a whole. It's only helping a certain group. In the community we live in, we have a predominantly black community, but we're learning history based off a European mindset and not the mindset of Afrocentric or a world mindset, just based on one. So we're not seeing ourselves as divine. We're not learning about ourselves as being divine.
Yeah, you're not getting the full out facts.
Right.
We're not getting the full out facts.
Oh no, it's hard for a lot of people to get out of that or to really wake up to that. I feel like there's a layer on breaking that mindset. Once you learn yourself and like what you really want to do personally, not what somebody else tell you that you should do, but what you find out what you want to do, it's the sky's the limit. It's sky's the limit for anything. No matter what system you're in, the system in America, you can go far.
Yeah. So if you don't mind me asking, it's going to be my last question. We're going to wrap this up because this is just the first one. We got a couple different things. If y'all can, man, follow us on Instagram, Life Goals Club. It's a fairly new Instagram, so we may have 30 followers. So if we can get 60 by the end of the week, that'll be phenomenal. And I'll let all of you guys know when we have our next Millennial Boss Workshop, which should be in the month, and it'll be over principles of proactivity. But this question is for you. Okay. Then I'll answer it as well. What is it that you see yourself achieving at the end? Where do you see yourself? What's your end goal like for right now? Because, I mean, that can definitely evolve into something bigger, greater, grander or something. But just for right now, where do you see yourself at the end?
With the Pan-African Liberation Movement, at the end, where I see this being, if I had to look at it, what you're asking, if I had to see it then, I see PALM being a global entity for black people. I see it breaking down walls of white supremacy, racism. I see it elevating our people and putting ourselves back on top financially, spiritually. I see it just liberating us as a whole, financially, giving us jobs, creating a lot of wealth for us, and probably hopefully becoming a political platform.
Yeah.
For nation building, because that's what Pan-African liberation means, getting back to the motherland. So being a force for our people and to beat this white supremacy over our people that it's been actually hitting us for the last 400 plus years.
Yeah.
So we're now trying to move away from that and actually rise from that, and at the end we will be victorious.
Yeah, that's a great vision. I can see it happening.
Yeah.
Definitely see it happening. You have to be aware of that purpose and know what your values are and what you want to do, so you can actually achieve those goals, man. Because you can say it every day and then not really do nothing about it, or you can do a lot of action, or you can be super busy, be super efficient.
Yeah, you can be woke, but you got to be active. Right. So you're just there, like you're aware of this stuff, but what are you doing? Now you have to start putting your foot to the pedal, and you have to floor it. Marcus Garvey said, "This is a marathon. We're running a marathon." In the words of my guy Cyrus Sudiseti, shout out to him, we're in a race.
Yeah. So
the things that the times that we're living in now, once you find yourself, put your foot on the pedal and do it. Get to it, because it's time for it. We need that from our people. We need that. So once you start finding yourself and really awakening from that mediocrity in your life and in your mind, because it's just not in your mind. It's your lifestyle too.
Yeah, it
can be a lifestyle, because it's about how you look, your perception. When the first thing I see when I see a person, I see what they have on. How they looking. Like you have to present yourself a certain way, and we as black people, we love to look good.
Yeah.
We love to look good. So you can't. It's just not a mind. It's just not in the mind, but just your lifestyle and how you present yourself with that too. I'm not saying go out and buy name brand clothes and put on or anything like that.
No, but they can fit you right.
Yeah, and actually we can start making our own clothes and start manufacturing our own clothes
and put them in our own stores and distribute them through our own trucks. But that's something that what I'm saying. Like you have to have the vision for it.
Yeah.
Like, what I'm saying. So if anybody out there have that vision and y'all listen to this now, definitely email us. Follow me right now at Bravo Honcho, BRAVOHANCHO, or you can just look up Summer Woods on Instagram or anything, and that's me. You can find this podcast on SoundCloud, on YouTube, we're going to get it on iTunes podcast, and then on evolversiglobal.com.
You can also find me At underscore Ankh Heru on Instagram and on Twitter. I actually have 2 videos out right now with the PALMCast, but the third one is dropping this week and the 4th one will follow.
Yeah. Looking forward to
on
that.
SoundCloud as well.
So to answer the question that I asked you of what's the all-in end goal of what I'm doing and my purpose. So 1, I want to expand the Life Goals Club to something that is a program for fitness classes, for nutrition and diet plans, for education on a multitude of levels and different subjects, community building, economics, different things like that, meditation and yoga, just to get that spirit in mind and everything that a person needs to be successful in their life. And then the relationships, the healthy relationships, note I said healthy relationships, that they need to be successful and have an overall satisfactory life. That's what life goes. For my workshops, Millennial Boss, I want to be able to be booked across the globe and do workshops everywhere in front of corporations, in front of different businesses, in front of schools, in front of people, in front of hundreds of people. I had a dream that I was going to be speaking in front of hundreds of people, talking about different things to make them happier, make them successful, make them better people in their relationships around people, and different things like that. For Evolversi, I see that being a global corporation. Something that you could buy shares of, something that promotes artists on a platform that's larger in scale than these other concert promoters that just promote concerts. I want to help these artists get booked. I want to help these artists build their careers from not just the ground up, but it's a lot of artists that seem like they have it all figured out who really don't. Right. So from different levels of artistry, and not just those artists, like painters, dancers, like any creative, photographers, videographers, like this is going to go huge. We do an array of different things, rap battles, our music fest, we're working on film festivals, comedy show, you know what I'm saying? We do barbershop tours, we're working on college tours, you know what I'm saying? So it's like different things.
Black Power Expo is coming through.
Yeah, we do different things. The workshop, industry panels, like we have a network of people that we have truly built over just this year. I don't know if you realize that, but this has only been 1 year, and not even a full year, because it's not January yet. So we only started in January 26th, of 2017.
That was the first event.
The Art and Music Fest.
Yeah, that was it.
So you have to be aware of what you really want to do. Now it's time to expand on Evolversi and what we're doing. Like, we do a lot of different events, but now it's time to go to different places. So if you're anywhere in the nation or anywhere around the globe that's listening to this and want us to bring a great sound to your city or your country, or artists and painters, that anything, you can go on our website and almost book anything. We work with local businesses even, you know what I'm saying, in the historic 3rd Ward of Houston, Texas, to help promote them alongside promoting us, because everything that we do is genuine and from the heart, and it's to build our community. Right now we are kingdom building. So that's the purpose of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And if you ever question who I'm doing it for, know that it's not just for myself.
I like to speak peace and blessings over this platform. May the ancestors watch over you with this platform, because it's gonna be powerful and it's gonna be strong. And on behalf of the Pan-African Liberation Movement, we are with you, and we are here to however we can for anything. So, and we work together already. So we already tied in. So we just trying to keep building, keep learning, keep expanding, because we will be free one day. And with these goals, these life goals, I know you got a lot of in your repertoire that you're trying to give to us. So on how to reach our goals, because sometimes we can stray away from our goals, and sometimes we can get knocked down. So we need platforms like this to say, hey, get back to this, or you can do it like this. Maybe you'll get it this way,
or maybe if I just say this, it'll make you think of this. You know what I'm saying? Just sometimes hearing one thing could trigger an idea. So hopefully you get out of that mediocre freaking mindset right now today. Do that exercise about your funeral. And I know that's weird, and I know it's like really dark and gloomy to think about, but you have to.
Or just think about if somebody trying to introduce you and what you want them to say about you too. Anything, like, man. Think about somebody you walk in the room.
Begin with the end. Begin with the end in mind. Become more self-aware. Figure out why you think the way that you think. Build better relationships. Okay, get out of remove that mediocre mindset. The life is filled with abundance. You have everything that you need. I speak it onto you that you have everything that you need. You have the resources, you have the people. You have enough time, you have enough money. It will come. Anything that you want to do, if you go out and get it, you can get it. Why? Because it is meant for you. It would not have been given onto you if it was not for you. So you have to believe in yourself and remove that mediocre mindset and establish a millionaire mindset. And not just millionaire as far as dollars and revenue. I mean wealth, spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical wealth. My name is Summer Woods. I'm your host of the Life Goals Club, produced by Evolversi Please check us out on YouTube, SoundCloud, and the website. We have our Instagram up and running right now at Life Goals Club, and make sure you go listen to the Upper Room Podcast and the PALMCast, hosted by Ankh Heru.